to talk about intuitive foiling. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. I know a lot of people do it, but maybe you haven't heard of it. What I like to do and why I take so long to foil is because I intuitive foil. I don't look at the entire head as a whole and follow a specific pattern the entire time, so I don't go highlight, low light the entire head. I look at each section individually. So what that looks like sometimes is highlight, low light, highlight, low light, highlight, low light, highlight, low light. Like there's no specific pattern, if that makes sense. The biggest example I can think of off the top of my head right now is think about when a client comes in and you can tell that they've been getting a partial highlight for like 10 years, okay? And they want a blonde that's cohesive throughout their entire head. So the bottom half of their head below their crown, it's gonna have a lot of dark and you're gonna need to do a lot of highlights, right? You're not gonna wanna do any low lights. But then when you get to the top of their head and they have a lot of blonde, you're gonna wanna mix some low lights in there so that it matches with the bottom. Because if you just do highlights their entire head, you're still gonna have that disconnect from the top and the bottom. So that's where the intuitive foiling comes into play. And how I would approach it is I would only do highlights on the bottom, do a lot of highlights back to back, and then when I would get to the top, I would mix in my lowlights with my highlights, because obviously their roots need to be done with the highlights. They want blonde up to their root, but they also want to be cohesive throughout their entire head, so that depth needs to match the bottom. Hopefully that's making sense, because it makes sense in my head. That's how I approach foiling, and that's why it takes me so long to do it sometimes. If you do the same thing, let me know.